My father started the company in the den in our house when I was 10 years old.
We tend to focus on the more complex and difficult projects that other people really don't want to mess with.
C.T. Wilson has always been very supportive of my journey in construction. This past summer, I got to be a project manager on my own site.
We've been very successful in hiring people that have had a rough time early in their life. I work a little harder for those folks because it makes a big difference.
Here on the Mendocino coast, we started a brewery, and it seems natural for us to support this kind of work. Eventually, we came up with the idea for North Coast Stellar IPA and put together the group we plan to support, including the Marine Mammal Research Institute at the University of British Columbia, the Marine Mammal Center in Sausalito, and the Noyo Center for Marine Science right here in Fort Bragg.
The relationship that we built with these animals is allowing people to get to know them in ways that we've never known sea lions before. And what the sea lions have been teaching us has expanded our knowledge about the entire North Pacific Ocean, and that's helping to conserve them in the wild.
Our hope is that this really helps to raise awareness for what is a very serious environmental problem.
Did you know that owning solar panels costs less than paying your electric bill? New solar programs and huge tax incentives are now available. So before you pay another electric bill, call NC Solar Now, North Carolina's most trusted solar installer, or visit them at ncsolarnow.com.
Hello and welcome to the 2021 Festival for the Eno. I'm your host, Joe Newberry. I'm honored to be here. We're at the beautiful St. Joseph's Historic Foundation Hayti Heritage Center. We want to thank them. We want to thank our partners at Wild Pony Sound and of course C.T. Wilson Construction for being our sponsor. We've got a lot of great music tonight, and we'll be coming to you with more information about the Festival for the Eno. This year is a hybrid year. It's sort of like everything else that we've done this year. We're making it up as we go along. We're sort of building the boat as we float down the Eno. But the Eno River Association is really, really good at doing just that. Now, we're going to be talking about things about land acquisition. We're going to be talking about the T-shirts that you'll see, about the festival and how it came to be and where we're going. We're also going to be showcasing some great music, and that's where we are right now. It's my honor to be like this turtle. We're coming out of our shell, and that's why they chose the box turtle this year. We're all coming out of our shell. And our first performers tonight. Sister Lena May Perry started the Branchettes with the late Sister Ethel Elliott, and they performed all over the world, and they performed all over North Carolina. In 1995, they went to the Ulster American Folk Park in Omagh, Northern Ireland, where they made friends that still talk about the Branchettes to this day. They were awarded the North Carolina Heritage Award. Now, we lost Sister Ethel in 2004, and I want to pay a special tribute to Brother Wilbur Tharp, who passed away in May. But tonight, we have Sister Lena May Perry and Angela Kent. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome the Branchettes.
Do not pass me
do another. We like to sing, you know, hymns. If you know it, sing with us.
miss Wilbur so badly, and it's hard for me to get over it. Wilbur had been with me playing the piano for almost 50 years. And that's something you just can't lay down and forget. But I thank God for Angela. Real, Jesus is real to me. Oh, yes, he gave me the victory. Oh, so many people doubt him, and I can't live without him. That is why I love him so. He's so real to me. Hallelujah, he's real. He's real. Jesus is real to me. Oh, yes, he gave me the victory. Oh, so many people doubt him, but I can't live without him. That is why I love him so. 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 He's so real to me. Hallelujah. Lord, help me to hold out. Oh, Lord, help me to hold out. Oh, Lord, help me to hold out until my change has come. Hey, Lord, please, Jesus, help me to hold out. Ah, Lord, help me to hold out. Oh, Lord, help me to hold out until my change has come. Lord, I want to be ready. Oh, Lord, I want to be ready. Lord, I want to be ready. Yeah. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Hey, God. Hey, oh, when the saints, come on, y'all, go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, Lord, I want to be in that number. Hey, God. Thank you, Jesus. where I started from. Nobody told me that this road would be easy. I don't believe he's brought me this far. I don't believe he's brought me this far. I don't believe I don't believe, Lord, I don't believe, oh, this far to lead me. Again. Wow. Wow. One more hand for Sister Lena Mae Perry, Angela Watt, Kent. All right, now what would a festival for the Eno be without Festival for the Eno t-shirts? Let's take a look and see how they're made.
I'm Melanie Wall. I'm the owner of Bread and Butter Screen Printing. I'm in my 28th year in business, and for over 25 years I've been working on some portion of the Eno Festival t-shirts. I print every shirt by hand on this manual press. Every color of ink is set up on a different station, a different screen, and this is kind of the old-fashioned way to print a shirt. They are printed one color at a time on 4 shirts at a time, and each rotates around, and then I rotate the screens around to complete every shirt. This black ink is the last screen for each shirt. So now I'm ready to take the shirt off the press and place it on this conveyor dryer. And it goes through this dryer, and in about a minute it comes out the other end and it's ready to go.
Well, we had a great first set from Sister Lena Mae Perry and Angela Kent. What a great set it was. And we're so lucky tonight to have one of the pioneering women of bluegrass, Alice Gerrard. For many years, she sang with her partner Hazel Dickens. She went on to found the Old Time Herald magazine. She has made music all over the world with some of the greatest players. And tonight she's brought another one along. Reed Stutz studied at Berkeley. He can play anything with strings. I love to hear them play together. They've got a great blend. Would you please make welcome Alice Gerrard and Reed Stutz.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it, and we're so happy to be out among everybody, and so happy that the Eno invited us to take part in this, and that the Eno is going to be a festival again this year. Yay! So we're going to do some very acoustic stuff here. Reed's a great mandolin player, also a really fine guitar player. And he and I and his partner, Tatiana Hargraves, have been playing together a little bit. And she's away now, so we're just doing the two of us. But yeah, it's great. Duets and duos and stuff. So we'd like to start out with an old Carter family song that Hazel and I used to do. It's a kind of it's called the Coal Miners Blues. Remember that one? Oops. Oh, start again. Woo. Some blues are just blues, mine are the miners' blues. Some blues are just blues, mine are the miners' blues. My troubles are coming by threes and by twos. Blues and more blues, it's that cold black blues. Blues and more blues, it's that cold black blues. Got coal in my hair, got coal in my shoes. These blues are so blue, they are the coal black blues. These blues are so blue, they are the coal black blues. My place will cave in, my life I will lose. You say they are blues, these old miners' blues. You say they are blues, these old miners' blues. Now I must have sharpened these picks that I use. I'm out with these blues, the dirty cold black blues. I'm out with these blues, the dirty cold black blues. We're gonna lay off tomorrow with the coal miners' blues. Thank you so much. Does it still sounds nothing? Nothing. Testing. Testing. I hear kind of a. You good? Hello. I always get this song mixed up with Troublesome Waters. It's Stormy Waters. It's a song I've known for a long time. I don't remember where I first heard it, but it turned out that Reed knew it too, so it's a nice old gospel number called Stormy Waters. Ready?
Yeah. Okay. You ready?
Maybe. Never sure.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's the way that...
Check.
Check.
Oh, that side.
Yep. That means I had it right the first time. There you
Takes a village. higher, or is that about right?
That seems all right.
Okay. All right.
Check.
There you go.
Check.
Uh-oh.
Wait. What?
Because I'm turning it up as you go.
Oh, okay.
Hello. Ooh. Hello.
Cool.
Okay. Well, this is a little, we thought we'd do a little instrumental. It's a mandolin tune that Reed made up, and I don't know if he just presented it to me the other day, and I don't think he had a name for it. Have you got a name now, Reed?
I was thinking I'd call it December Daisy, because I wrote it on like a, I don't know, winter day, but it's kind of a fun, happy flower, sort of a tune. So that's what it's called for now.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Great. Yeah, good. Good tune. December Daisy, I like it. This is a song that I wrote because I was just really angry at the way the states have been passing these laws to restrict voting rights. And I just heard today, just caught a teeny bit of it, I don't really know the details, but the Supreme Court decided something that apparently is not too great along the, so if you all have been watching the news, you probably know what it was. But, so I'm still kind of pissed off about that.
We are too.
All right. So this song is called Old Jim Crow. And let's see. I think we did it for the first time at the Blue Note the other night at this sort of a songwriter's circle thing. Let's see, you kick it off, right? Okay.
How about you count it off?
Yeah, I'm going to count it, and I'll probably get it wrong anyway, but 1, 2, 3, 4. killer con, look away, and everything you got's done gone. So now, come on, folks, gather round like warning. Come on, sisters, take warning. Come on, all you sisters and your brothers. Old Jim Crow's are trying to come back again. In 1965, we almost got him. Hollered and he cursed, but we kicked him to the bottom. 2021 is crawling out once more. Backhand gerrymander, it's all the same Jim Crow. He's a-blowing across the land like an old southeaster, all dressed up like a two-bit preacher. Reaching for the hard-won prize, trying to steal it back before our very eyes. So now, gather round, I'm a-warning you mothers. Gather round, I'm a-warning you fathers. Gather round, all your sisters and your brothers. Old Jim Crow's are trying to come back again. So gather round, take a warning your mothers. Gather round, take a warning your fathers. Gather round, all your sisters and your brothers. Old Jim Crow's are trying to come back again. Old Jim Crow's are trying to come back again. Old Jim Crow's are trying to come back again. We gotta kick him back into his hole again. Thank you. Thank you so much. We'd like to do one more and ask, Jim and I have done this as a duet from time to time. Let me put this back in the...
And while Alice is putting up her guitar, the one person that we forgot to thank is the guy, he's working maybe the hardest of any of us, Carl Wetter. Give him a hand. He's our sound engineer tonight. Hey, Queen, I have a question for you.
So we have a, huh?
I have a question for you.
Oh, yeah.
How did you write? This is my favorite song that Alice Gerrard ever wrote. And when you play this kind of music, you get to know folks and of all ages. And so when did you write this and how did you come to write it?
I wrote this when I was living up in Galax, Virginia, and kind of trying to learn, hanging out with the elders in the community. And at that time, they were the elders. And learning music from them and how generous they all were. And so I wrote this kind of to honor them, the elders of our music community.
Thank you for doing it.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
It's called Calling Me Home, and we worked out this little trio, so.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
My old friend lay on his dying bed, held my hand to his bony breast, and he whispered low as I bent my head, oh, they're calling me home, they're calling me home. My time has come to sail away. I know you'd love for me to stay, but I miss my friends of yesterday. Oh, they're calling me home. They're calling me home. Now I know you'll remember me when I'm gone. Remember my stories, remember my songs. I'll leave them on earth, sweet traces of gold. Oh, they're calling me home. They're calling me home. Now, friends, gather round and bid me goodbye. My body's bound, but my soul shall fly. My little light shining from the sky. Oh, they're calling me home. They're calling me home. Calling me home.
That's Alice Gerrard, that's Reed Stutz. Wow. Now, everyone loves to go out to the Festival for the Eno on the 2 hottest days of the year. Yeah. Although this year it's going to be really nice out there. The thing about the Eno River Association, it's about the music, it's about the crafts, it's mostly about the education. Eno River is all about education, and there are 3 weeks of summer camps this summer, including one Walk the Eno Science and Nature Camp, a diverse array of kids and folks all over the park learning about nature and taking that forward, because really, when you think about what's been going on in the Pacific Northwest, we've got to get a handle on education, and I think you might agree. Yep. All right, we'll be back in just a little bit, and do we have a video to watch? Yeah. Let's watch a video.
I have been here for probably 8 years in total, and as a camper I heard from some family friends about the camp and online, like on Instagram, and the reason I come back is probably because I get to go outdoors, the food is amazing. It's just a really great experience overall.
At iWalk we do a lot of science and nature, but part of that is the arts, and we have a lot of fun. We do pottery, we do painting and printmaking, we do needle felting, which is fiber arts.
As a camper, I thought it was a really good camp program to come through. You just learn a lot about nature and being outside. What brings me back was the opportunity I had to come here and have so much fun as a camper, and being able to give these kids the same experience.
Well, we're on free flow, which allows us just to have time in the river, which everybody loves and is everyone's favorite. And it's actually really cool out right now, and the water is really cold. So that is stopping nobody from getting it.
As a camper, I didn't know a lot of this stuff already, so it was a big learning opportunity. But now that I'm a mentor, I was really excited to come back and help others. And now that I know a lot more after taking apes and biology, it's helped me be able to connect more with the campers and teach them more about all the different items. It's not your average camp at all. There's a lot of fun.
Have you ever given thought to where the water that you drink comes from? And do you even have a clue of exactly what you'd do if you did not have the water that you do? Because sometimes the water bubbles up from below. Sometimes it falls as the rain or the snow. But an awful lot of water that we need to share comes from the river that is right over there. And I love that.
So I Walk the Eno is a camp that the Eno River Association wanted to offer to be able to invite kids from around the community to be able to come and learn more about the Eno and have a really in-depth experience at the Eno River. The campers are from the area, many of them. They live in either Durham or Hillsborough or Chapel Hill, so the Eno is a part of their lives. Many of them grew up coming to the river throughout their lives, so now they get to come to camp and learn even more about the Eno and become great lovers of the Eno for the rest of their lives.
Welcome to the 2021 Virtual Festival for the Eno. How is your sitters? Are you doing okay? Well, I'll tell you what. This is an easy introduction and a hard introduction. I've known him my whole life. He's a good guy, loves the Eno River and the Eno River Association. Would you please make welcome me? I'm your host, Joe Newberry. I'm honored to be not only hosting but part of tonight's program. I'll start off, a lot of great songs have been written and sung on this stage already tonight. As a songwriter, you never know where a song is going to find you. And I heard our beloved Doc Watson. Doc Watson. He was in the green room before a show for Pinecone. And my friend Bob Roop said, "Doc, how you doing?" And Doc said, "Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I may be too old to drive the train, but I still love to hear the whistle blow." How can you not write a song after that? I think you sort of have to start a train song like, I think. When I was a young man, was in my prime, I worked on the Katy and the good old Mopac line. I started as a brakeman, buddy, life was fine. But I'm looking in the rear view, all I see is time. I'm too old to drive the train, but I still love to hear the whistle blow. Started making railroad green a long, long time ago. Whether it's a fast train or a freight winding slow. I'm too old to drive the train, but I love to hear the whistle blow. I worked up to conductor, we would ride all night. Finally get a little sleep just before daylight. Once we sidetracked at a whistle stop to get a little bite. And a pretty gal who served the beans became my heart's delight. I am too old to drive the train, but I still love to hear the whistle blow. Started making railroad green a long, long time ago. Whether it's a highball or a freight winding slow. I'm too old to drive the train, but I love to hear the whistle blow. Crescent serves New Orleans, Southern serves the South. I'm an engineer where words have felt good in my mouth. I started at the end of steam, but I learned a diesel's worth. I've railroaded long enough to go 10 times around the earth. I am too old to drive the train, but I still love to hear the whistle blow. Started making railroad green a long, long time ago. Whether it's a highball or a freight winding drive the train, but I love to hear the whistle blow. Now I have a gold watch with my name inscribed within. Feels like I've just started, but I know I'm near the end. You might not want to hear it. Here it is, my friends. Your bones will rattle with the clickety-clack, on that you can depend. I am too old to drive this train, but I still love to hear the whistle blow. Started making railroad green a long, long time ago. Whether it's a highball or a freight winding slow. I'm too old to drive the train, but I love to hear the whistle blow. Like Alice, I've spent a long time playing for and playing with elders and mentors. And I've got to tell you, I'll tell you a little, there's not much to me, but I'll tell you what little there is. I lost my mother when I was a young man. And as a result, when a lady who would have been about my mama's age would pay any sort of attention to me, I would do this. And a friend of mine was named Patsy Warner. She was the mother of a good friend of mine. And Patsy and I we took to each other right away. You've met folks like that. You just look at them and you go, oh, it's like, Mike Woodward, I love you. I don't know you. That's what I said the first time I ever saw Mike. It's like, I just like that guy. It was that way with Patsy Warner. I just loved her. And she got sick, and she asked me to come visit next time I was in Nashville, and I wrote a song for her. I hadn't planned on doing it, but that's the thing about being here at the St. Joseph's Historic Foundation. Sometimes you just have to speak what's on your heart. And this is what's on my heart right now. It's called Resurrection Day. You laid down your burden when you left this world of woe. I will think with affection of your time with us below, your time with us below. On your journey, your soul learned how to fly when you walked that lonesome valley into a cloudless sky. Memory lingers, though the body turns to clay. That's so we will recognize you on the resurrection day. On the resurrection day. On your journey, your soul learned how to fly when you walk that lonesome valley into a cloudless sky. Home to live with the Father. Hallelujah, what you've gained, free from any care or bother, free from earthly pain, free from earthly pain. On your journey, your soul learned how to fly when you walk that lonesome valley into a cloudless sky. I'm glad I'm a believer. I know how the story ends. I'll deny the great deceiver and join my family and my friends. I'll join my family and my friends. On your journey, your soul learned how to fly when you walk that lonesome valley cloudless sky. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, we're starting to get out as musicians. We're starting to get out and play. I was talking with Allison Reed. It's like, this is great. Nervous, but this is great. And so I'm looking forward to a lot of things. I'm looking forward to getting on the road and going at halftime to a show and doing the intermission and the record table. Because you never know what people are going to say to you when they come up to you at the record table. Ever. And, you know, my stock in trade has been songs like that Resurrection Day, sort of about my sweet relatives in heaven. And a lady came up to me at the halftime one time, a few years ago, and she started her conversation with me like this. I said, excuse me? She went, can you not write a fun song? I got a little pouty about it. I said, yeah, I think. So I took a fiddle tune title from Western North Carolina called The Darker the Night, the Better I See. That's a honky-tonk song almost right there. So this is my attempt at a fun song. I've honky-tonk most all of my life. My day begins at the edge of the night. I stay up late. They don't bother me. Because the darker the night, the better I see. You know the lights I love are the lights of town. I thank the Lord above when the sun goes down. Find a shady spot, that's where I'll be. You know the darker the night, the better I see. Now my hit parade has about 3 chords, but I'll guarantee that you won't be bored. It starts getting good around 2:45. The darker the night, the better I see. All the lights I love are the lights of town. I thank the Lord above when the sun goes down. Find a shady spot, that's where I'll be. Why? The darker the night, the better I see. Now when you write these songs, you put your own DNA in them. And my dad was a judge, an attorney. And attorneys like to bust each other's chops a little bit, and they'd go to these meetings and one would say, oh, Judge, you know, I don't know. I think when you die, you're going to go, you know. And Dad would say, that may be. You go first and save me a shady spot. So I got to put that in this song. I rest my case, just like my dad, at the break of the day. What some call word, I call play. I once was blind, now I'm free. The darker the night, the better I see. Oh, the lights I love are the lights of town. I thank the Lord above when the sun goes down. Find a spot. That's where I'll be. The darker the night, the darker the night, the better I see. You heard me right, the darker the night, the better I see. Ain't I a sight, the darker the night, the better I see. I have time for a couple more. When you bring out the banjo, you know, you never know, is it a threat or a promise? But here it is. I'll play a little tune from Kentucky from a great banjo player named Zelma Bowles. She was married to Jim Bowles, and Zelma was an incredible. I love her banjo playing, and this is my weak, pitiful attempt at playing Christmas Eve. Any musician will tell you that the holidays are just around the corner. So if you go to your favorite musician's website and there's a CD that you could buy, do that. These are hard times for everybody. So anyway, we'll do that, and then I'll end up with a little song from West Virginia, and I'll also give my thanks to the Eno River Association, to our sponsors, C.T. Wilson, to Wild Pony Productions, and to you. I don't worry too much about taking a minute to tune. Don't ever believe anybody who says, oh, it's close enough for, and then fill in, oh, it's close enough for rock and roll, it's close enough for country. No, I consider myself sort of like an airline mechanic of the banjo. You know, if you're there sitting in your seat and you see a mechanic sort of working on the engine, you'll wait till they get done, right? Same with tuning the banjo. But here we are. I'm going to do one more for you. It's from West Virginia. Lester and Linda McCumbers played it, and a lot of folks have been singing it over the years. This is my version. And thanks again for everything that y'all do to protect the Eno River. Thank you for tuning in. I've got the greatest audience in the world. They're going to thank you right now. Absolutely. You know, it's a thing. Things will never be the same, but we're getting through it. And so hybrid events like this, I think, are important. I think it's important for us to go forward and to be safe. And so here's a little bit of the Cherry River Line. It's lonesome here, lonesome all the time. It's lonesome down here on the Cherry River line. There's a girl on yonder mountain, beneath the spreading pine. I told her that I loved her, I hoped that she'd be mine. It's lonesome here, it's lonesome all the time. Lonesome down here on the Cherry River line. I saw my Lula gal, she had a dram glass in her hand. She was drinking down her troubles with another man. I told my Lula gal, go and do the best you can. I'll get another woman like you got another man. It's lonesome here, lonesome all the time. Lonesome down here on the Cherry River line. The train that she rides, it runs mighty slow. At night I can hear the lonesome whistle blow. Someday I may forget you, you won't be on my mind, but I never will forget the Cherry River line. It's lonesome here, it's lonesome all the time. Lonesome down here on the Cherry River line. Ooh. Oh, thank you, everybody. Well, one of the things about the Eno that I love is that it's burrowed down into the lives of the people that live in Durham and Orange counties. And Judge Beverly Scarlett grew up along the Eno, and let's take a look at a little video that she made where she talks about her family's long history on the Eno. Here's Judge Scarlett.
In my journey living along the Eno, I discovered that this river is a jewel. It has sustained the life of many. This river is my home, and it is the reason that my family has been here for many, many generations. The Eno River was the home of settlers coming from Europe to live here. The White Scarlets settled along the Eno River in the 1700s. In the very, very early 1800s, a white settler's son, the settler is Stephen Scarlett, and his son, John Scarlett, bought a family of slaves out of Tennessee. The youngest of those slaves was Bun Sheba, who would become known as Bunny Scarlett. She is my great-great-grandmother, the mother of Levi Christmas Scarlett, who is my great-grandfather, of course, my father's grandfather. And Levi provided us the land along the Eno River upon which I was raised. If you would like to know more about the story of Levi Christmas Scarlett, you can find that in ribbons of color along the Eno River. Fortunately for me, I was in contact with the Eno River Association in 2003. A wonderful person by the name of Joe Newberry came out, met me and my family. He interviewed my father. He interviewed my paternal aunt. And I was asked shortly thereafter to write a journal for the Eno River Association about my family living along the Eno River. And in doing that, I discovered just how rich the history is along the Eno. I decided not to make the stories in the Eno River Journal exclusive or only to include my family, but I wanted to open it up. So I invited friends and families of mine to submit stories, and they did, and we have a wonderful, wonderful piece that's educational, enlightening, fun, just an exciting book to read. And again, it's entitled Ribbons of Color Along the Eno River. There is so much life. We have so many access points along the Eno River. That is because people love it, they embrace it, and it's just a fun place. For me, why drive 2.5 hours to the beach when you can come here? You know, one of those beach vacations could be right along the Eno River because we have variation in plants, a variation in fish. We just have it all right here on the Eno.
He's 21 years old. I lost my mic over there. He's 22 now. Old man, what are you doing? You're so old. God, how can you even stand up? Could we get a chair for Javier? Because he's 22 years old. His music moves between regional styles, norteño and banda, and do I say it Serrano? Serrano. And he works to bring a piece of Mexican culture into each and every one of his songs, and a sousaphone with a microphone down in the bell. This might be the greatest moment on stage I've ever seen. Please make welcome Javier Montano.
How's everybody doing tonight? That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. Before we start, I just want to say what amazing music have these musicians brought to us tonight. So I want to give a round of applause to every single one of them that has performed tonight. I've always said, and I always like to say, that music is not to compete, it's to share with the people, share with everyone. I've never seen it to compete with another artist or with another band. I've always liked what everyone has to offer, and that's what I love to see, you know, bring in different types of cultures, different types of instruments, per se the banjo, per se the tuba, you know, something different. I love bringing, you know, a little bit of culture everywhere we go. I do warn you guys, they told me that this might be a little loud, so hopefully we don't scare the engineer over there or the people that is here. But yeah, we play, what we're gonna bring today is a little bit of música campirana. The word campirano has a lot of meanings in Spanish. One of the meanings is farmer. And another translation, música campirana, is also referred as country music, if you want to look at it as a term. So it's pretty much country music in some parts of Mexico, some in north, some south, southern Mexico. So I hope you guys like it. Hope you guys enjoy some of this music, and hopefully we can bring us a little bit of surprises of what we got as well. So without further ado, let's get to cooking. All right. y sé también que como a mí lo quieres. Dímelo ahorita con tu boquita si su cariño mi amor prefieres. Porque yo no sé perder, has de saber que siempre he sido el rey de mil coronas. Ya que el galán que le quiere entrar tendrá que pasar sobre mi persona. Lo supe ayer y sé también que como a mí lo quieres. Dímelo ahorita con su boquita si su cariño mi amor prefiere. Porque yo no sé perder, has de saber que siempre he sido el rey de mil coronas. Ya que el galán que le quiera entrar tendrá que pasar sobre mi persona. Thank you so much. And the next song we got, I'm gonna try to tell you guys a little bit of what I'm singing too, because you're like, what the heck is he saying? Probably. So this next song is called ¿Por qué te vas de mí? The translation is, why are you leaving me? So, you know, the thing about, especially in the culture from where I am, Monterrey, Nuevo León, is the northern part of Mexico, is we always like to party. Whether we're heartbroken, whether we're sad, we always find a reason. You know what? Just bring the guitar and let's, you know, crack a couple beers and let's just, you know, have fun while we're sad. So this is ¿Por qué te vas de mí? It's pretty much saying, why are you leaving me if I love you so much? And it sounds like when I start singing it, you guys are gonna be like, is that really what it means? You're sounding so happy. So this is a little bit of it. ¿Por qué te vas de mí? It says a little bit. Siento una tempestad cariño. Es que me falta tú, me haces falta tú, como el agua del niño. Devuélveme el amor, devuélveme el calor, devuélveme la vida. Regresa por favor, que no me quedo con tu partida. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. A lot of people probably know that that's probably the musician's best medicine. When we hear the crowd just, you know, having fun, hear them clapping, it just means the world to us. I know that every musician in here can, you know, testify to that. So we really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I got a question for you. Who came with the loved one? Their other half. Ooh, a lot of you. Okay. Love is in the air. So, I like to consider, I'm 22 years old, but I like to consider that I have an old soul because I grew up listening to oldies. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I got a lot of people that I follow. One of them is Richie Valens. I really, really loved his music, and I think, you know, I grew up listening to every one of his songs. And tonight, since we have our loved ones here, I want to dedicate this song to all the lovely couples out there. Hopefully you guys like it. Something a little bit out of our comfort zone, but hope you guys like it. may belong to only me. For all right. Okay, right here we're gonna show you a little bit something more. We love this song at parties. This song cannot. This song is always there. Hope you guys enjoy it. And with this little piece, we thank you so much for giving us a space here with you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy this. Does anybody have a bottle I can borrow real quick? I want to show you what this guy can do. Any empty bottle that I can see? Anybody has a bottle? There we go. I'm going to show you what this guy can do with the bottle and a guitar. Here you go, buddy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness. Javier Montano. One of the things about the Eno that we always love, and it's a great way to buy your holiday gifts, that hard to buy holiday gift, going down to the craft area. And so let's think about watching a little video about the festival for the Eno crafts.
Have you been here before? We're going to do an aluminum pour today. Some of the artists here have made sculptural molds, so they're pouring their pieces today. Yeah.
I'm working on this piece. It's a head that goes together like a puzzle. The piece that I'm casting is a brain. This is made out of wax. So I've packed a brain similar to this one in a mold. We melted the wax out of it, and now we'll fill that with metal.
I started pottery in college and found a real love for it. It was really scary in the beginning to take the leap to do this full time, watching other potters do it. But 2 years ago, I joined Liberty Arts, which is an arts collective in Durham, and it kind of started this whole arts organization.
Liberty Arts is a collective of artists working under one roof in the most amazing variety of mediums. Welding, plasma cutting, pottery, letterpress, glass blowing, wood turning. Where do you find that?
We built this space so that it not only accommodates me as an artist, but I now have classes here. And it's so great because it's this beautiful relationship between the community and the artists, and we're all kind of supporting each other and feeding into this whole creative circle.
The pot's going to be sitting here. And you come here, you just sort of come in here and just...
I did a figurative sculpture, ethereal beings coming into creation, so it's just its bones are showing and they're trying to form muscles. On the back side of this, one of the etchings, that's going to get cast into the negative, which is what I want it to look like. This is my first time having something cast in metal. To grow and progress as a sculptor, I needed to be around other sculptors, and I'm getting along with everyone.
800, 800, 900, 1,000, 2. Okay, we're going to do the airplane one first. Alright, let's go again. Stop. Should work. Nope. Oh, yeah. Nice. Now you can take it out. Good pull. Good job, guys. This is the best part. It's like Christmas. Oh, there he is. I got both ears, I got the horns. I don't know if the bottle opener in his mouth works yet, but we'll try that later. Aha! Brains! Brains! Yeah. Smoking brains! Yeah.
Literally just drop it?
Yeah, just drop it. On its side. Okay. On its side. Okay. There you go. Here! I've never had it drop.
Actually captured a good amount of the detail.
Yeah. You get all the fingers in there?
No, I didn't get that hand. Yeah. It's okay though.
Those really fine things, those are going to be harder to get.
Got the ears though. Man, it captured all of the musculature. This is wild.
This was successful. So this is look at this. Oh wow, that looks great. All right. Sure. Yes! He works! He works! And he's been baptized. I think it's really cool.
What a great video, and thanks to Liberty Arts. And we want to take a special note to remember Steve Little, who we lost in 2020. Rest in peace, and his work will live on. Over the years, 50 plus years at the Eno, The faces may change, but the word is the same. It's the same with the gospel travelers from Garysburg, North Carolina. The faces may have changed some, but their word and the words are the same. Would you please make welcome the gospel travelers from Garysburg, North Carolina.
Oh, it's so good to have Jesus in my life. I'm telling all over the world, it's so good to have Jesus in my life. Look at what God will do. God will turn your world, make you proud. So good to have Jesus in my life. I want to say it again. It's so good to have Jesus in my life. I don't mind letting the world know it's so good to have Jesus in my life. God will make you proud. So good to have Jesus in my life. I got something I want to say. There have been times I've had to stumble along my way, and I travel on my journey from day to day. I want to say this again. There have been times I've had to stumble along my way, and I travel on my journey from day to day. There's no God what He done for us. So good to have Jesus. It's so good. So good to have Jesus in my life. Anybody got Jesus in your life? Huh? It's a sweet life when you're walking with Jesus. We're kind of a old time group. Y'all hold up, fella. Let me talk. Y'all hold for music just for a second. Yeah, we're kind of old school. Y'all heard of old school music, right? Grover wrote a song some time ago. I didn't particularly like this song, but as we sung it, it kind of grew on me and kind of grew to be one of my favorite songs. And we took most of the music out of it. And if you like it, clap your hands. If you don't like it, fool us anyway. The song goes a little something like this. Let me tell you I'm rolling, yeah, rolling. I'm rolling through the sun-friendly world. I'm rolling, yes I am. Rolling, oh yeah, rolling through the sun-friendly world. Louis, sing something for me. Whoa, mother, won't you help me? Whoa, mother, won't you help me to pray? Whoa, mother, won't you help me? Help me in the service of the Lord. Whoa, yes, I'm rolling. Yes, I'm rolling. Rolling through this friendly world. I'm rolling. Yeah. Rolling
won't you help me? Oh, brother, won't you help me to pray? Oh, brother, won't you help me? Help me in the service of the Lord. Oh, yes, I'm rolling. Yes, I'm rolling. Turning all over the world. Yes, I'm rolling. I'm rolling. Rolling through. I want to sing something for you. Oh, Father, won't you help me? Oh, Father, won't you help me to pray? Oh, Father, won't you help me to pray? Help me in the service of the Lord. Oh, yes, I'm rolling. Yes, I am. Rolling. I don't mind the whole world. Yeah. I'm rolling. Yeah, yeah. Rolling. Y'all say it like this. Oh, I'm rolling. Yes, I am. I'm rolling. Yeah. Every time I got tired, every time I thought about giving up, I made up my mind. I'm gonna keep around. Yeah, I'm rolling. Yeah, I'm rolling through this friendly world. Through this friendly world. Y'all like that? You ain't got to tell me. You ain't got to tell me. We're gonna call Grover around, and he's gonna sing a little song for you. Y'all give Grover a hand. He's our keyboard player. Praise God.
Give Stephen a chance to get fingers warmed up a little bit. We've been at this for 56 years. We started out as teenagers. I think I was about 12, 13 or so when we started singing. And all of these guys up here either sing in their churches and or are church musicians, including myself. Most of us play in our churches as well as sing, and at other churches. We got Jamie Cottle over here on guitar, Clyde Rivers on bass, Keith Hawkins on guitar, Early Rook on drums, my older brother, Lewis Rook, tenor, Earl Lane, lead and instrumentals, and Stephen Smith, the youngest member in the group, keyboards and vocals. And the 56 years that we've been doing this, guess what? We couldn't have done it by ourselves. We needed our families, we needed our friends, but most of all, we needed God. Because without Him, it's all fruitless. So we want to sing this song, share this song. It's been done by many groups. And we want to share it with you here this evening in Durham and give you something to take home with you that we hope you can use. I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Jamie? Would surely be me. I thought I could be what I wanted to be. I could do a lot on my own. I thought I could make it all alone. I thought of myself as a mighty big man, but I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Whoa, 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 I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Sometimes the mountain is too high and the valley is too low. Oh, I'm down on my knees. I've learned to stand, and I found out I can't even walk. Oh no, I can't even walk. What about you? I can't even walk without you holding my
Songs I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Can I let my drummer sing a song? Early, come around and sing one more song for us. Didn't want to worry your patience too much. Y'all give him a hand as he come around and sing for you.
I know y'all ready to go home, 'cause I'm ready to go get something to eat. Have you enjoyed yourself tonight? Have you really enjoyed yourself tonight? I know we enjoyed being here. But before we go, we want to bring some shackles in here tonight. Can we bring some shackles in the house tonight? Can we bring some shackles in this house tonight? I've been bound for so long. I need Jesus to set me free. Good God Almighty, I've been down for so long. I need Jesus to set me free. Let me say it again. I've been down for so long. I need Jesus to set me free. I've been bound for so long. I need Jesus to set me free. Oh, run, shout, run, run, shout, shout, run, run, shout. Oh, I gotta live for Jesus. Gotta live for Jesus. Gotta live for Jesus. Will you work for Jesus? Will you run for Jesus? Will you shout for Jesus? Will you live for Jesus? I've been bound for so long. I need Jesus to set me free. I've been down for so long. I need Jesus to set me free. Yeah. How many of y'all here today? Are you willing to work for Jesus? How many of y'all here tonight? Will you run for Jesus? Will you shout for Jesus? Will you live for Jesus? Can we share one last one with you? Do we have time for just one last one? This is one of my favorites. Give us a little bit of Worthy early. Worthy is he. Help me sing. Worthy is he. Worthy. Worthy is thy name. All over the world, worthy, yeah. Worthy is he. Worthy, yes he is. Worthy, worthy is thy name. Let me say this right here. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. I will bless his name because of his saving grace. And that's why I'll give him all the praise. I take time to say, worthy is he. Worthy is he. Worthy, yeah. Worthy is thy name. All over the world, worthy, yeah. Worthy is he. He is so worthy. Yes, he is. Worthy, worthy is thy name. He's worthy, yeah. He is so worthy. I know the Lord is worthy. Yes, he is, yeah. He is so worthy. Every now and then, you ought to take time and look back over your life. God is so worthy. And see where the Lord has brought you from. He's been a mother to the motherless. Yes, he has. He is so what you brought me, you taught me, you never left me, yeah, you are, yeah. He is so worthy. Worthy is he. Help me sing. Worthy is he. Worthy, worthy is the name. All over the world they say, worthy, yeah, worthy. Worthy is he. Worthy, worthy is the God bless you.
Oh my gosh. Gospel travelers. Oh, what a night. What a great night. Well, as we close our evening and we say goodbye to our live stream audience, if you're anywhere near Durham, North Carolina on Saturday and Sunday, come to the Festival for the Eno and tell your friends about enoriver.org. You can find all you need to know about the Eno River Association and all of their good works. Thank you. We'll leave you with the words of our old friend Clyde Johnson. Goodbye, good luck, God bless you. Don't worry too much about nothing because everything ain't going to be right no how.
One, two, three, four.
Have you ever given thought to where the water that you drink comes from? And do you even have a clue of exactly what you'd do if you did not have the water that you do? Because sometimes the water bubbles up from below. Sometimes it falls as the rain and the snow. But an awful lot of water that we need to share comes from the river, and it's right over there. And I love the Eno, and the Eno loves me. Yes, I love the Eno, and the Eno loves me.
The river is a place where the animals meet, where the turtles swim and the herons eat.
If you didn't have a river, what would fishes do? They could not move into your house with you.
I love the Eno, and the Eno loves me. Yes, I love the Eno, and the Eno loves me. The river is a place that the plants all know, where the sycamores and the birches grow, where the panhandle pebbles now meets his match, and the Neuse River water dog plays catch. And I love the Eno, and the Eno loves me. Yes, I love the Eno, and the Eno loves me. The river is a resource, so we need to share. Help to keep it clean, just to show we care. If we take care of the river like we ought to do, then the